Okay. Hot dog. Is it a sandwich? I'm going to take a step back.
Do you want me to go first? Should I jump in on this?
Listen, well, do you want to talk about your podcast as well, just so people know the name of your podcast before we get in, so we know exactly where you land on this?
Probably a good idea. So I host a podcast with my co-host Nicole and IAD called A Hot Dog is a Sandwich. We called it that because so many people tweeted us, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Sure.
And along with a panoply of other questions. Is a Pop-Tart a ravioli? Is cereal soup? Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Cereal is soup, right?
I believe cereal is soup. I believe
agree.
there's no way around it, right?
Look, we're already starting on common ground. This is good.
Starting in common
I
ground.
already look like I've lost a fight, so let's keep having this one.
We have not yet discussed at all the question of, is a hot dog a sandwich? In the name of our podcast, we could have called it A Hot Dog is Not a Sandwich, but that would have been just 4 extra characters,
Right?
Including the space. Anywho, that we didn't want to put into the Spotify, title card.
Yeah, for the SEO of it all, easier to search.
Exactly. And so we've never actually discussed this, and my common sense definition of a sandwich would be likely to include a hot dog in it, right? That said, it is an immensely difficult question to answer. So I once sat down with a philosopher. This was a Cartesian metaphysicist named Dr. Calvin Normore. It's been published over 50 times, and we discussed whether or not a hot dog was a sandwich for about 4 hours. And we did not come to any successful answer. Because if you break down the word hot dog and sandwich, right? Leavened bread has been around for 5,000 years or something like that, dating back to Egypt and, ancient yeast. Sausages have been around for literally forever, since people decided they could start curing meat. The term hot dog doesn't even date until 1850 or so. And it was kind of like an anti-German slur because they thought that Germans were using dog meat in the sausage. And then the term sandwich does not even date until 1782, despite the fact that meat and bread have been around for thousands of years. So we're talking about ancient concepts in very modern terms, which for me is not very satisfying, right? So you have to really discuss, what is a hot dog? What is your base definition of hot doghood? What is your base definition of sandwichhood before you can even talk about that? And then we get into the ontological implication of the term is, right? So for instance, is that a hot dog?
Well, yes.
I think it is.
If I said, can you go to
when I go buy hot dogs at the store, I get a pack of hot dogs. It does not necessarily need the bun to be qualified as a hot dog.
It's still a hot dog. So is a hot dog a sandwich? Is that a sandwich right there?
I would say no.
But you said it is a hot dog, but you said it is not a sandwich. So ergo, a hot dog is not a sandwich.
I agree.
So a hot dog's not a sandwich.
Yeah.
Boom, settled.
Great. Oh
my God, but it's a sandwich again. So is it that simple that you can just do with one little sleight of hand, take something from being not a sandwich to a sandwich?
I think if you do this, that's a hot dog
So
sandwich.
it depends on if it's connected?
I got rid of the hinge.
Okay.
I don't think the hinge. Wait, do you think the hinge is important?
I think it's incredibly important.
Really? So you're telling me Subway, which is the most popular restaurant on the face of this earth in the history, no one has sold more food than Subway.
Yeah, that's right.
And they sell sandwiches. You don't believe that to be true because there's a hinge.
They were telling you the sandwiches had bread in them and it was yoga mat. Are you going to use Subway as the authority on all foodstuffs?
What deoxycarbonamide, I believe, is the chemical. And no, that was a whole weird hoax. It was started by a food blogger called the Food Babe, who was just trying to get clicks on her blog.
I remember Food Babe.
Food Babe. She was the yoga mat and Subway bread, and it was complete BS, man. It was just a random chemical that's used in everything. It's like
they ended up phasing that out of the bread.
They did.
And they had to classify their bread as cake in some areas.
In Ireland, yeah. Because it has...
So are they cake artisans or are they sandwich artisans? I'm just saying, I wouldn't listen. I actually don't have I actually don't
have a hot dog in the race.
That's what I was going to say, and then I stopped. I just think it's a shaky foundation if you're going to use Subway as the standard bearer for what is a sandwich or not. That's all.
I think there are like de facto definitions, right? And then there are legalistic definitions. So if you're talking about legally, like I personally do not believe that burritos are sandwiches at all, right? Burritos, I think a sandwich needs to be on leavened bread, have some sort of leavening in it. To me, I mean, tortillas predate leavened bread by 10,000 years, started in the Aztec Empire. Burritos mostly made on flour tortillas, but tortillas de harina still date back over 500 years to northern Mexico.
It was an appropriation. I'm going to let it slide.
It's okay. He lives in Southern California.
That's why, Mike, I'm going to let it slide. I'm going to let it slide.
Thank you so much.
I saw Gina was getting very
He lives so close to Santana. It's okay.
But I'm saying, like, people don't think flour tortillas are authentic. They are. Burbank. Anyway.
Now wait, let me just real quick.
Go ahead.
My father,
Yes.
Gets a lumberjack special.
Uh-huh.
Which wherever you go, there's a variation of a theme, but you got a stack of flapjacks, some bacon, some sausage, and maybe some eggs. He gets those eggs over easy.
Yes.
He lifts up the pancake, slides the eggs in, closes them, smashes them, let the yolk run out. Okay. Then dials up his insulin pen. That's another story. But when he does that, he calls it pancake sandwich.
Yeah.
I think that's a pancake sandwich.
Certainly, but a pancake sandwich does not necessarily have to be a sandwich. Because the word sandwich is in there, you might think it is. However, fool's gold is fool's gold gold.
It's pyrite, right?
It's pyrite. But the idea is that the preceding adjective negates the fact that it's gold. Could be the same with a pancake sandwich. The fact that sandwich is in there means nothing if the pancake modifier negates it.
Sorry, it just.
No, there's
Santa's here.
Yeah, what you guys couldn't hear is that there was goose stepping happening. Because I think
Popping up there.
someone was offended at the term hot dog earlier, and now it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming to claim that it is not sandwich.
So do you want this to be a sandwich or not? Where would you like this to be?
I truly have no dog in this fight, but I do want to get to the bottom of it, and I want to get every single angle involved. We're actually going to do a 4-part series starting this summer in July, where God, it's going to be so brutal, dude. It's going to be.
No, I love it. I genuinely love it.
We're gonna get a philosopher, a historian, a lawyer, and a business person to discuss every single angle of whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich and the implications of doing that. Like,
so the historical precedents, you got the legal founding.
Because somebody actually penned an op-ed for like the Minnesota Law Board arguing that there needs to be a stronger definition of sandwiches legally in America because of the famous case in which a Panera Bread sued a Qdoba.
Oh, yeah. Vanessa was telling me about this. Please.
Yeah, and so a Qdoba moved into a mall with a Panera Bread. Panera had a contract with the mall saying that no sandwich competitors could move in. And then Panera sued saying that Qdoba is a sandwich competitor. So you literally have like a state Supreme Court judge trying to argue whether or not a burrito is a sandwich.
Our tax dollars at work.
I didn't realize that like sandwiches is like some gang shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you
turf
serious?
wars on the sandwiches. Not only that, there were hot dog cart riots in like the early 1900s in New York because they decided to tax hot dogs and not tax sandwiches, which was effectively a criminalizing tax on the poor. Right. So there's like, this is heavy, man. So when it's not heavy.
When is this series happening?
July. First week of July is what we're shooting for right now. And man, it's going to be a doozy. I'm going to be if I'm not the most annoying person in the world already, I'm going to be. So, mansplaining. What does is mean?
I have a commercial break to take, but
Okay,
go,
that's
please.
fine.
No,
I'm going to
please,
text
please.
my chef friend right now. We're going to fight about this also. Hold on.
Okay, but what do you want it to be? Just before we go to break. What would you like it to be?
I want this thought out of my mind. Because I didn't know this shit was so serious.
Vanessa, final word. Hot dog sandwich? Hot dog, not sandwich.
Hot dog sandwich. This clip is going to be used against me. Hot dog sandwich.
Yeah, there it was. We used to be friends.